Okay, teacher, my name is Camilo Ramirez and I am going to talk about the challenge 4 of the work of BodyTech. So I am going to start talking about the investigation objectives, and in first place we are going to determine the level of knowledge that the people have about BodyTech as a brand. Then we are going to analyze the brand attitudes toward their customers and the customers toward the brand. And finally, we are going to segment clients based on their attitudes toward the BodyTech brand. Okay, now I am going to talk about the customer profiles that we identified in our investigation. So we segment the profile of the customer by 3 age ranges. So in first place, we have customers between 50 to 30 years old. They are generally male, they do physical activity currently, they are employees or students, and they live in Bogota. In second place, we have customers between 31 to 45 years old. They are generally male too. They are married with children, they do physical activity occasionally, and they are employee or independent, and they live in Bogota. And in third place, we have customers between 46 to 60 years old. They are generally female in this case. They live in Bogota, they are married, they have children, and they are generally employed or independent. Okay, now I am going to talk about what is the customer looking for when they look for a gym to enroll in. So in this part of the challenge, we look for the combination of what BodyTech wants to deliver to the customer and what the customer wants from BodyTech. So we found that the customers, when enrolling a gym, they want to have a healthy life mainly. Why? Because they want to get a good conditional and physical aspect, and they want to get also a good quality of life. In the analysis of the insights, we base on 3 different aspects that are quality, experience, and image to find what does it generates in the customer when they see BodyTech. So first, I am going to talk about the image. In this case, we found that the logo of the brand is not well designed because it is not attractive for the customer, and because when you see the logo of BodyTech, if it is not for the high reputation of the brand as a gym, when you see the logo you cannot see clearly that you are looking in the logo of a gym. Second, we find about the insight of quality that the quality of BodyTech, because of the reputation of the brand that is very high, it generates high expectations in the new users. And we found that, talking about the quality, there are 2 types of customers. One, the customers that are very satisfied with the service and that feel that BodyTech is very well. And second, the unsatisfied customers that think that the service is well, but that they can find the same service in a lower cost. Okay, talking about the insight of the experience of the customer, we found that the service that BodyTech manage doesn't have an added value for the customers, but it offers many facilities to all the customers, like close locations, well machines, and group classes that make the experience of the customer very well at the hour of use the service. Okay, now I am going to talk about the problems that we found in our investigation of the BodyTech service. In first place, I am going to talk about the cost. When we conducted the interviews, we could find that the people think that BodyTech is an expensive brand, and that the cost is not in the line with the service provided, and that the service is almost the same that other gyms provide at a lower cost. And in second place, in the segmentation, we found that the people older than 46 years are not attracted in the advertising of bodytech because they see it like refers to young people and not for them. And we found that the young people want to have a more personalized service. So knowing this, we conclude that all ages want different things at the hour of going to a gym, and that Bodytech offers the same service to all the people without do an adequate segmentation. Okay, now I am going to talk about what level of knowledge and acceptance has Bodytech and its competitors. In first place, we found that the recognition of Bodytech is around 73%, while the second, that is SmartFit, represents 10%, and we conclude that it is a really overwhelming figure. In second place, we found that more than 55% of the survived population likes the Bodytech brand above the rest, followed by SmartFit, which represents 90%. On the other hand, the brands that least like are Elena del Mar with 1.6% and Stark with 3.8%. As shown in this table, it can be said that both SmartFit and Spinning Center have a regular advertising management, since most people concentrate on level 3 of the equation. Hard body also has a large percentage in level 3, but there is a greater concentration of deficiency levels such as 2 and 1. Okay, and now talking about how expensive the chain is, we found that 42% of 130 people survived thinks that Bodytech is an expensive brand, followed by SmartFit and Spinning Center, in which in both cases 8% of the people thinks that they are expensive brands. And talking about the coverage of the brand, we found that 57% of the respondents think that it has a wide coverage compared to gyms like Elena del Mar and Step Ahead that have only a perception of 1% about talking about the coverage of the brand. Okay, now talking about how personalized is the attention of Bodytech, we found that only 26% of the customers of Bodytech that we surveyed thinks that the attention in the gym is personalized, and we think that it is so low, and it is a weakness of Bodytech because some people think that they can change to other gyms and other places to do exercise like CrossFit place because they think they are more personalized. And talking about how busy or crowded is the chain, we found that 45%, almost the half, think that Bodytech is very crowded, and we think that this is good for the gym because they have more sales and more profits, but it is bad for the client because it is not attractive, because you don't want to go to a gym that is so crowded. Okay, in the conclusion of the qualitative analysis, we found that Bodytech is perceived by the people to have a good service, good installations, to be a modern gym, and that it has a high reputation in the social environment. But in the other hand, we found that people found Bodytech so expensive, and that most of the times the costs don't satisfy all the needs. And we found that the use of the facilities that the gym offers to their customers are not well used by all the customers that are paying for that. And we found also that the headquarters don't have a good segmentation. And finally, that more than 70% of the people consider that body tech is very expensive. And finally, in the conclusions of the quantitative analysis, we found three conclusions. The first is that in general, in the investigation that we made and in the surveys, we found that it is possible to show that Bodytech is the most known brand of gym in comparison to their competitors. In second place, we found that only 26% of 312 people surveyed think that the chain and the customer service are well and they feel satisfied with this. And this is so low because a gym has to have a very high perception of the customers in the service. So we propose that the leaders of the brand make environments that include workshops and conferences with their workers to show them to be more friendly with the customers. And finally, we found that it is possible to identify that many people have the perception of Bodytech as an expensive brand. Thank you.